Look at this. I got headphones on. I got a mic going. Baby.
If
Huh?
only people could see you now.
Hey, no video. We've gone through this before.
All right,
No
all right,
video.
all right. Welcome to This Commerce Life. This is a podcast aimed at small, medium entrepreneurs focused on commerce. I'm Phil, your host, and Kenny, your co-host, will join us as well. And we're going to talk to you about the world of retail and commerce and how things are changing in the world. Yeah, no, this is good. This is good.
Hey,
We got good
sounds
sound
okay.
going on.
Yeah,
We got all
good.
sorts of things going on here.
Yeah. So what's going on?
What is going on, man?
When did I talk to you last?
I have no idea. Sunday? Last Sunday. I think it was
Sunday.
last Sunday.
Last Sunday.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe last
Yeah,
Sunday.
Thursday night didn't work. Thursday
Yeah,
night
yeah.
my mom and dad came over for dinner.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
I didn't want
That's
to rush
cool.
them out.
Yeah.
And I've got some biscotti I just got a pack for you.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I just got to get my shit together and actually do this.
Yeah, that's okay. It's all good, man. It's all good. That's amazing. Mama
Good batch
Venetia
too.
made me
Good batch.
biscotti.
Good batch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I
Yeah. So
like
I'll
it.
try to get those
I
in the
like it.
mail hopefully maybe tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. Let me just make sure because this is new audio for me.
Is this better or worse than Skype? So if you're telling
Um,
people, if you were out there telling the world, we're going to do you're going to do some podcasting or something, would you
yeah.
use Skype or would you use Zoom?
The truth is Zoom has a more stable connection. What they added lately that they didn't have before was that you and I are on separate audio tracks, which is kind of a big deal when you're editing, right? Otherwise,
Easier or harder?
it's easier when you got two separate tracks because
Yeah.
it means if I cough, if I sneeze, or you do the same, I can go in and kind of like wipe out that little snippet.
Right.
But when we're together, there's nothing you can do. You just kind of take it all as it comes, right?
Yeah.
So it's better when it's separate, and they started doing that. So yeah, I mean this is pretty stable. If this works, we can keep doing this and kind of ditch Skype. So Skype was doing some weird things at the end, like we were getting the Chinese action movie stuff, right? Like
Man, it was choppy as choppy.
yeah.
I mean, there's times where and I can see you, talking. I hear nothing, or I don't understand you on a good day, man. You start chopping like that. I understand you less than I did a minute ago. What the hell you're talking about?
It was the one when you were in the villa at the end there. That was like we called each other back a couple of times. Like that was like a jigsaw puzzle because I like there were moments where you were like you sounded really smart and then you disappeared and I was like, okay, okay, let's snip the next part and see what we get. Hopefully we hopefully we sound sort of connected somehow. So
this is actually way better. The video's even cleaner. Like you're not as choppy.
Yeah. It's good.
I don't know how many people actually use this stuff for business still. Like, do you think a lot of people do video stuff? I mean, even in London, I was trying to, like, I told a lot of vendors, but we were using Skype or what was the other one through Microsoft Link, not Link, something like that. But not everybody had it, and it was a pain in the ass. And Skype was, even in the office, was choppy, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times where you wanted to see it, maybe you wanted to talk to a vendor from Toronto or wherever, and a flight just didn't make any sense. But this is actually not that bad. I mean, if you think how much, we've only seen each other last October.
Yeah.
Right? And we've recorded about 33 or 34 of these now.
Yeah. I think a lot of business gets done like that. I mean, I do a lot like this.
I don't. That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah. No, I do a lot like this. Whether it's, I probably got there's probably like 4 different ones. Zoom is really good. Join.me is another one that's really good. There's Skype, and then the last one, it's really clunky. It's one of the big guys.
What's WebEx?
Oh, WebEx is the last one. Yeah.
Is that the one?
Same sort of deal. Yeah.
But this one seems pretty good. I mean, it's free.
Yeah. Zoom is free for 2 people, and then if you get more than 2, you get 40 minutes free, and then you got to pay to upgrade. But the funny thing is, so you and I have done a couple of threesomes on this thing,
so to speak.
So to speak, right? And what it does is actually it makes you panic more than it does anything. So there's a little warning that comes up for the host that says, "Hey, you're over your 40 minutes, but we're not assholes. So like, go ahead and keep recording, but just know next time you're gonna have to pay." So it's kind of cool too. Like the software is cool that way, right? Like so.
I guess that would work for most people. See, most people, I'm assuming when they do this kind of shit are scripted,
yeah,
or have a plan, like, or an idea, as opposed to knuckleheads who just phone each other and start talking, and really, who the hell knows where the conversation is going to go because it's not announced a thought.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I know people like that, but hypothetically, there could be people in this world, who do podcasts that way.
Yeah,
right?
Who are actually prepared. Yeah.
Well, prepared, I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of those ones. Unprepared, I don't know. Maybe there's not. I don't know. 2 people for sure I might know.
Yeah.
Who are not the most prepared. I had someone say that. I've had more and more people saying, "Oh my God," because I used to write, right? I used to do my own blog, thekenschool.com.
Yeah.
And I haven't written probably since I left, about 2 years.
Okay.
And they said, "Oh my God, I used to tell everybody to read this thing." I think, okay, well, honestly, definitely got to find a different world to work in. But I said, no, I said, I've stopped writing. Now we're doing that. We listen to the podcast all the time.
No way.
Like, seriously.
That's amazing.
Well, because I guess it's sort of what Ken said. Like, I think sometimes we probably discount more. We probably discount more of the stuff we talk about than we should discount. It's not that we intentionally discount it. It's just because it's just not. It's so obvious to us.
Yeah.
Right. You're thinking like, seriously, what are you thinking about? There's nothing to think about.
Yeah.
There's only one way to do it. This is the only way to do it. That's how you do it.
I did, even last week's episode, I had somebody kind of reach out and say, "Hey, listen, listen to you all the time, but it isn't obvious to sell your brand." And, you and I were talking about building, because I've been helping somebody build a sales deck.
Yeah.
And somebody said, no, it's actually not obvious, right? Like, you kind of build stock lists and things like that, but not everyone knows that they should be, building a sales deck and kind of a pitch deck to how to position your brand so somebody might want to carry you. Which to me, I don't know. Like, I to me that is obvious, right? But I get,
to me, I
get
guess
that
it's
I come from
obvious too.
right?
But I mean, like you said, if you're gonna go buy a car, like, you could grab a brochure. That's a sales pitch.
Yeah, I guess
like,
that's
if you're gonna go
is.
see, someone was a new building going up, they typically have a sales deck. Like, it's just a way to catch attention. Right. But I mean, it's a fair comment, right? I mean, it's because, and then you feel bad too, because you don't want people not to, if they're going to listen, I want them to actually take a nugget home. So the sales deck, for example, is a great idea. You do need a sales deck. And it's not hard to do. Keep it tight.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to read 75 pages. I know you want to tell the world everything about your product, but really, it's a cover page. It's an introduction to who you are, an introduction to what the product is, couple pictures, couple really the reasons why this is going to change my world. Not so much the benefit of the product, but the benefit to me, or to my consumers. Not the benefits of the product, but what it's going to do for you. And then really, it's just costing and suggested retails. Like 10 pages tops. I used to have guys like you, you weren't too bad, but guys like you, I'm going to say, like guys I feel come like 50 page. I'd be thinking, who's going to read 50 pages of shit?
No. The J&J stuff comes with
it's too long,
50, 60 pages. And
if you're talking Tylenol, I know what it is. I don't need to be gone through what Tylenol. I don't care.
So
tell me what the product is.
So the funniest thing, so when I was a sales track guy and we called on Kenny, I went out with 2 wonderful ladies, right? So there's Joanne Ferguson and Lynn Shishato, both who are just like,
they're awesome,
world class individuals.
They're awesome.
And so when I would come out, they would kind of, when they didn't know me that well, and I came out and we called on you, J&J came with, like, J&J doesn't do anything less than 50 pages, right? Like, it's just
50 pages is the abridged version,
right? Like, there's mountains of marketers that just have to cram, insights. And I think the first time they came out, they didn't know, they knew you, right? So they kind of had that look, and then they didn't know me, so they didn't want to, kind of do their thing, right? And so we had this huge deck, and I remember the three of us like kind of going through it, and about half an hour in, I was like, this stuff's dry as shit. Like, are we presenting, like, do you guys want to present all of this? And the two of them started giggling, right? And I was like, come on, like, tell me, like, what's the deal? And they're like, it's Kenny, like, he's never gonna, like, we need like 5
Not a
pages,
hope.
right? And I was like, all right, like, show me which 5. Like, and they go, well, what about all that? I go, I don't give a crap. Like,
I'll ask.
we
I'll
throw the rest
ask.
of it out. Like, we won't tell Toronto. It's fine.
No. Well, that's nice to do when I go to when I go to J&J's head office.
Yeah.
Guys, honestly, I don't have. I got the attention span of a gnat.
Yeah.
You're killing me. You're killing me because all you're doing is I
Yeah.
look like I'm listening. I've left the room.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking of 50 other things.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is, why are you telling me all this shit?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And if anything, what I'll do is, because we've had people, I used to tell them, say, listen, I'll ask. Let me run. I'll ask you, and then go to the page.
Yeah.
And tell me what it is. Otherwise, I said, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out, why am I going to do this?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you just give me all the detail, like, so when you're doing the sales deck, if you're a small guy, tight.
10 pages or less.
And not
Absolutely.
so much about your product in terms of the product. Yeah, a little bit if it's revolutionary, but really more about, why should I carry this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, why is my consumer going to get stoked?
Yeah. Think of like, what's in it for, so key questions like, what's in it for the buyer, right? So literally not, how my stuff is amazing, it's going to make you feel amazing. It's like, what's in it for the buyer? Is it margin? Is it volume? Is it like a whole new segment to the category that's going to blow his category wide open? Usually those are kind of the 3 key.
Yeah. If it's a me too, tell me that it's a me too. And this is what I would suggest, Phil, discontinue these 3 because they're not spending any money. We're going to. Okay. I get it.
Yeah. So what's in it for the buyer? You can tell them what's in it for you. Be really transparent. Like, in terms of me, I'm bringing you this product. What's in it for me? Right. Like, why, if it's London, usually, right. I don't know if vendors, like, I think vendors are transparent enough to go, listen, like, this market's going to take, this product is going to take the market by storm. We're starting with you guys because London Drugs usually is an early adopter, right?
Yeah.
Like, that would be literally the most transparent reason why you would go to a buyer and go, you guys are always first, right? You guys take the risk on new stuff. So I want to be there because once this market goes, you guys will have the right to say we were first.
Right.
But
again, that's a page. That's not even on the page. That's a talking point.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
Yeah. And then if you have monetary advantages to your competitors, you should tell them that. Right. So you know what, like, the average cost or the average margin in this category is 30 points. I can get you 40. We're still going to be line priced with everybody else. Here's how I'm doing it. So every time you sell me, you're going to get an extra 10 points, right? Like, that's something a buyer would go, well, if I'm going to sell this shit anyway, like, if I'm going to get 40 points or extra margin out of you, I'm going to carry you, right? Like, unless there's something really weird about your product, right? So, yeah.
It's tough though, because I mean, it's a fair question from whoever asked you that. Because it's not, like I said, I guess for you and I, it's probably, I mean, it's pretty, and again, different buyers. I know some buyers, I don't know why they're this way, but they like the 50-page deck, right? I just don't get it. It's time. I don't, leave it with me. It's bedtime reading. If I'm not, if I'm not compelled, I can do it on my own.
Yeah. It's too much. It's too much reading.
I think it is.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah. So that's kind of like, that's been part of my week. So I've for some reason, I guess that's part of the cycle. So I've got 3 of these decks going on right now. For people that need them. So yeah, where I'm doing that right now. And, I'm working on, I'm not done yet, so I can't talk about it, but I'm working on, for the software company, into Locate, which we'll have on at some point. I'm working on, some thought leader stuff. She's doing some just really, really cool stuff around, building, proper software for, the current generation and future generations and the way we work. So she's got some really neat stuff that that once I finish writing it, we're gonna, we'll talk about it for sure. But there's some really, that stuff's really cool. Yeah. So I'm pretty stoked about doing that stuff. So yeah,
well, that'll be fun. That sounds like a cool project.
Yeah. They're making lots of gains. Like, I think the neat thing is those ones kind of, having done all the white space stuff, right? Like, the white space stuff always makes me a little heebie-jeebie, right?
Yeah,
because
I get it.
it's just like, everyone, like, it's new and we're gonna be there, and like, say, yeah, but there's just so much work and so much marketing investment that has to go into shouting where nobody is listening, period, to get them to listen. That but it's working, so it's kind of cool.
If you're starting to get some traction, at least you can see it, because it is. There's nothing worse than that space.
Yeah.
I mean, it's exciting, but man, it's scary, right?
It's tough. Yeah.
It's scary. It's scary.
And I'm not sure that there's any way to calculate exactly how many dollars it takes. I think that's the problem. You know what I mean? Like, you when you're in new space where there is nobody, there's no audience, there's no need for the product, or there's no apparent need for the product, man, and you're making everything from scratch. Like, there's literally nothing to measure against, right? Like, you're just kind of shouting and hoping that people show up, right? So
you're just hoping someone might be listening. Might be listening, and might is the big word.
Yeah.
Right, because you really don't know if anybody's listening or if anybody really cares at all.
Yeah. Right? It's true. Yeah. That's what's going on with me. I'm doing that. I'm gonna starting to firm up things for September. So I think I'm gonna teach more courses at Centennial.
Oh, nice.
That's gonna be really fun. Social media marketing will be one of them. I'm gonna continue doing digital marketing. If anyone wants a free plug for my students, because I've got some really bright students who are graduating this year. So if you need a digital media coordinator or a digital marketing coordinator or a marketing coordinator, those sort of roles, would love it if you reached out. They're Toronto based, but some just really bright kids coming out that I would love to place with people. So
you have to let me. You know what we'll do is, I'm told you I'm talking to Shanae.
Oh yeah.
Not this week, the following week. We're going to be at the coffee bar, but she may be looking for some some people, and it'd be great for them, because again, they're she's young. It's the same. I mean, she'd be older than these kids.
Yeah.
But she's still young. Like, they'll be able to talk to each other, and it could be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, got it.
Right, because there's so much opportunity in that space. So
yeah. Right. Yeah. What about you? What's going on with you?
No, I'm heading out to Edmonton on Wednesday for 3 days.
Okay.
Doing sit down with I guess their merchandise managers, and talk to them about maybe some shows that we should be going to in the new year.
Okay.
They haven't done a lot of shows and stuff, right? So I wouldn't mind maybe introducing them to some of the ECRM shows, because they're nice and tight, and they're free, at least for the buyers.
Yeah.
Right, to go to. So if people don't know that, just type in ECRM.com. I think it comes up ECRM MarketGate, but ECRM is a great show if you're a true retailer. It's a great way for you to get to buy vendors. Great way to get to vendors, and it's free for the buyers.
Right? It's really true speed dating.
It is speed dating. They're 20-minute meetings. You're obligated, and so is the vendor, obligated to see each other. Mm-hmm. They will let you opt in and opt out, but that has to be a valid reason. Okay, we need a DIN in Canada. You have no interest in doing that. We're never going to get your product in Canada.
Yeah.
We need English, French. You have no desire to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, they have to see you, and you have to see them. Yep. It's amazing how many things you can get out of those shows, even just ideas. Right?
I liked those because they were so. I mean, so if people are listening and thinking about this, is you really, like, when you roll into these, at least from the buyers. I've never been as a vendor, but as a buyer, you go into this and it's all business, right? Like, so they're pleasant enough, right? But you don't have to warm up to a buyer or anything. You literally, they jump in, they come into the room, they sit down, and as soon as they're settled, you jump right into, like, this is my product, here's what I do, here's the company, listen, and you really hit, like, you're clear of your pitch in something like 10 to 12 minutes, and you got like 8 minutes to figure out whether the buyer is actually interested or not.
And quite frankly, within the first 2 or 3 minutes, both sides don't know if this is worth the time.
Yeah.
Right. Because there are a lot of meetings you'll look at each other and say, like, you know what, I'm not the buyer. It's not my category. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You might sit and talk for another 5 minutes, just shoot the shit about whatever.
Yeah.
But it's an awesome way to actually really good form. We were going to those. Oh my God. When I first came into London, and it was already a couple years old. So that's like 19 years ago now, almost 20 years ago.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was that old.
Yeah. Okay. My first trip was, I remember my first trip was Asheville, North Carolina. Went to see is it the Vanderbilt's house or the, I think it was a Vanderbilt. It was awesome. Well, that was my first, and that was February 2002.
Those shows, though, they make buyers feel like $1 million, right? Because you go for free.
Oh, it's rock star.
Great, hotels.
I mean, they're not as they used to be, right? It's got to. I mean, when I think his name was Charlie Bowles.
Okay.
When Charlie owned it, he's since passed, but when he owned it, it was more about. It was a lot of socializing. It was all about the relationship because he got it. Right. It's still good, so I'm not knocking ECRM. Yep. But it's because it's gotten so big and there's so many. When we were going, there was like 12 shows a year.
Yeah.
I think there's 12 shows a month now.
Really?
Right. I mean, it's out of control. Oh my God, there's tons.
Okay.
And they're all over the world now too, right? They're international.
Yeah, I knew that. I didn't realize there's so many shows there.
Right. But it used to have like Habbo would almost be one category.
Yeah.
Now split up to men's grooming. It's facial, it's sun care. Like they're split it, so many ways. But they're really good shows. So ECRM.
Yeah, ECRM. They're definitely. Yeah, I like them. I like them a lot.
I do too. So anyway, that's my week, and I'm doing with one of the other accounts. He wants me to start doing more vendor relations.
Oh, okay.
Like going back to what I used to do. So now from the other side though. I guess I'm still sort of the buyer. I'm back to being a buyer, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Were those guys in Alberta?
No, not with the BC guy.
Oh.
Alberta's gonna be strictly consult. What Alberta needs, what Value needs is more. They've got people. They're bright. They get it.
Yeah.
What they need is probably someone who's done, maybe it's done done a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Like I bought so many categories, right? And it's more of how you see things.
Yeah,
it's probably what they need more than anything.
A bigger perspective.
You know what I need to be is support.
Okay,
that's what I need to go in as. Right, I'm not gonna teach them anything revolutionary. They know what they're doing. They're not stupid. They're bright. They don't need what they probably need is almost like the uncle or the brother to defer to once in a while and say, hey, listen, I'm thinking of this, what do you think? That kind of thing. I hate the word mentor because it sounds I just never like that word. Right, but it's more that type of thing. I think I'm going to be more of a coach kind of thing, which I kind of like to do too. I'd like to see if I can help out and do that.
I like I'm picking up, I'm going to be coaching I'm doing some work for Jack Canfield. So Jack Canfield is Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Yeah, okay, that's why I knew that name.
They do a lot of business coaching. So they've picked me up, so I'm going to do some coaching for them.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm getting my first client coming in a couple of weeks, and I kind of sit with them an hour and literally do business coaching. So
that's awesome.
That'll be interesting. I have done it before, but I've never done it dedicated. So it'll be interesting to see. It won't be interesting. I'll have to make sure I do my job right. But
yeah, you can't fart around this one. You actually might have to. You might have to do. You have to do a little bit more prep than we do for this.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah, you might have to actually show up.
Yeah, I think
with an idea or two.
It's kind of funny because I'm not like that. Like I can be. Everyone who knows me always goes like, no, but sometimes, when I had bad vendors, I had to be a jerk. Right. And I think when you're a coach, you don't need to be a jerk, but you do need to be really firm. Right. Because, the reason that people usually need coaches is because, I probably need a coach because, I'm off doing a million different things when I really should be concentrating on one or two key things,
right,
make my business better. So I'll have to have a pretty firm hand with the client to kind of go, look, I gave you work to do. Did you do it? Where's your homework? Let's talk it through so we can figure out what's next for you, right? So yeah.
But that's sort of, I mean, it's funny. I had one last week. I went to see my chip lady. Still having some machinery issues, right?
Okay.
And we're going through, and I'm not like I'm being pretty stern, in a nice way, because she's such a sweetheart, right? I just can't be mean to her, but and she's like, she goes, "Oh, you're so helpful. You're so good at that." I'm thinking, Elsa, just so you know, this is definitively do as I say, not as I do. I said, just so you're very clear. I said, I know what I'm supposed to do. I just not the greatest listener of me. But when I'm telling you to do this, trust me.
Yeah.
There's a reason I'm telling you. Just follow it.
Yeah.
Right. I said, because there's certain ways to do things. But I'm finding even myself, I catch myself thinking, I leave places thinking, buddy, why don't you learn, if you just listen to yourself with these people, you actually might do a little bit better yourself. Yeah, I'm nuts. Instead of, like you, I'm all over the freaking place.
Yeah.
Right. Trying to focus in on a couple small things. Just focus.
I started to I've started to kind of book my own time. Do you know, like my calendar? I've gone back to using my calendar. When I work corporate and all these other jobs, I use my calendar to govern everything I do, and I've started to go back to that, right? Because I'm just finding there are moments where it's almost like fits and starts, right? I'll work on something and look up and go, oh my god, I've been at it for 2 hours. I should have just settled for something in half an hour, and moved on. And then there are moments where I'll panic because I've spent half an hour when really it should be something I spent 2 hours on, right? So
you're booking time with yourself?
Yeah. So I started.
I got that on my calendar. I do all my bookings on my phone, right? So
okay.
all my calendar's there, but I do that on my calendar. I'll book a day, and I'll be a week. I'm thinking, what do you got booked on Friday? I go, look, that's I call it home time.
Yeah.
Right. Or couch time.
Yeah.
Which means sit down, just do your own thing for a minute. Right. Or I'll put couch time grasshopper, couch time at the bar.
Yeah.
Like idiot. Remember your shit. Like focus.
Yeah, you got to do your stuff, man.
Right.
Like, yeah.
And it's hard because you know what it's like. You start, and then because we're similar that way, is a thought comes into your head. And if a thought enters your head, what do you need to do?
Yeah, you
got to purge that thought.
Yeah.
So you got to go find out what the hell you're doing. So now I'm on the internet. And then once you're on, I might go look on LinkedIn for the answer, but then there's a couple of cool articles. So I'm going to start reading those.
Yeah.
And then they may take me to Facebook, or they may take them. And before you know it, I don't know what the hell I've done.
Yeah.
But I've learned a lot of cool things. I just really not relevant to anything I was supposed to be doing. But I'm a little smarter.
Yeah.
Just not the thing I was supposed to be doing.
I know. So I'm like that, and I've started, but it's helping. I like it. It's a good way to just kind of keep things together and keep it moving, right? So it's good. It's good. Yeah.
Have you had because you've been now doing this for a little while, like have you had people who were waiting to talk to you because they were thinking, okay, let's see if he actually, how's this going to go?
Yeah.
Are they coming up to you and saying, hey, I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm kind of thinking, like, what do you think?
Yeah.
I had 2 last week. That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah. Like people that
2 this week too.
Like jumping in and doing what you're doing, right?
Sort of, or saying, you know what, I've done what. Yeah. How did you quit?
Yeah.
Right. Because, decent job, decent pay, decent perks, had lots of, it was a good get. Why pack it in?
So I attract a lot of, because I've made like so many changes in my career, right? So I went from the whole brand side to retailer side. So I get people who come to me and go, why did you do that? And then I also get people who are leaving retail, or who want to leave retail, and jump into startups, who reach out and go, how did you do that? Why did you do that? What skill set did you have? And then people who want to leave, kind of corporate life altogether and then jump into freelance have also come and said, wait, why and how? So I get a lot of those. Yeah.
Kind of like, no, so I had 2 last week, and I've got 2 this week.
Yeah.
And I'm on a short week, right?
Yeah.
But I kind of thought, okay, like, I don't know, maybe it's summertime. Everybody's kind of gone on holidays and sat at the beach, tried to read a book thinking, what am I doing? Like,
I
what am I, or why am I doing this? Like,
yeah.
so they're not getting through the book they were trying to read, but they're
No.
thinking about, maybe it's time for a change. Maybe I should try something new or.
I think so. Here's my theory. I mean, so part of the underpinnings of almost everything I've done, um, kind of getting out of brand side, going retail side, and then retail to startup, is because this happens a lot. Like, so anyone who works in a big corporate company, when you hit 40, you're there's kind of like two streams, right? Like you're either chasing down a director's job or you're kind of happy. You're either chasing down a director's job and kind of hell bent to get one, or you're kind of happy to progress with a company, and whether
Yeah.
you get a director's job or not, you don't really care. Regardless of either one that happens, when you hit like 45-ish, like for me, I looked around and like in my early 40s, I saw a lot of 47, 48, 49, 50-year olds who, if they had just made director or were like senior managers, I saw like confidence turn um into trepidation and kind of
Mhm.
nervousness, right? Because between 50 and 60, you're trying to put away enough retirement savings to retire, right? Like you're in the last bits of your mortgage, hopefully, and then you've got children going to college, like financially, like really critical times, like to be free. But they're all petrified because that's also when companies cut. There's a lot of ageism, right? So at like 50, you know
53.
right, right.
53 in our
Yeah,
old industry, especially the drug,
yeah,
53 seemed to be
yeah,
the magic number.
yeah, yeah,
At 53, you were either going to get gunned, downsized,
yeah,
or you hung on.
yeah,
And if you can
yeah,
make 54, you could make 60, 65.
yeah, yeah,
Do you know what
yeah,
I mean? And it's
yeah.
stupid. I know people will be thinking, okay, that sounds so stupid. I'm telling
But
you,
it's
it
not.
is.
It's
And it made
not.
me not that tight. It's that 53 to
Yeah,
55.
yeah,
Because the problem with you're very valuable because you know shit and you've been around,
yeah,
but you are way too expensive,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right? And
yeah,
the problem, and that's the ones they got
yeah,
typically for. I mean, I've known so many
yeah,
people
yeah,
between 53 and probably 55, 57, and I mean so many
yeah.
people
And I
who've
I
been
worry, right? Like
bitten off.
I looked at that and went, I don't want to be there. Like I just
You don't want to be that guy.
I saw the anxiety, right? And I
Uh-huh.
totally understood it. Like early 40s, none of those anxieties applied to me at
No.
all. But I totally understood like feeling that feeling. And so I wanted to get to where I am right now as fast as I could, because then, really, like I sweat over not having enough leads, or I sweat over not converting enough leads, or I'm not making enough money off contracts. But those are things that I control.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's the
mean?
beauty of
Right.
it.
And I'm not worried about like a boardroom or succession planning
Yeah,
or
nobody's gonna fire me.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I fire me.
yeah, yeah.
Now,
But
your
if
point,
I'm
now,
firing me, it's because I'm going to do something else I want to do.
exactly. But
So
that's the
yeah,
beauty of it. Not that I'm sitting there thinking, shit, man, okay, if I can just make it to 57,
yeah,
right? Not
yeah.
cause a lot of problems. I think I can hit
Yeah,
65.
keep my head down, maybe, like, so I see a lot of people, and I kind of tell as many people as I can, right? Like, there's I had lunch with a guy 2 weeks ago. He's a senior marketing manager in a pretty great packaged goods company, and but he makes great money, right? Like he's been there 18, maybe 19 years. Can't move, right? Just because
Yeah.
the money thing won't
This is
allow
so
him.
sad though, right?
Yeah, and he's trapped. And he said, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I said, you know what? Like, what you got to do is, if you know you're going to get gunned or that you might be on the board in the next couple of years, and you can't go anywhere, you got to figure out what you want to do with your life. Like, you got to
Yeah.
figure out what you want to do when you grow up, and you should start it now. And he was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a good idea. And I'm like, why are you not thinking about this, right? Like,
Because
you,
what's the
you should
first thing people
always be
think
thinking
of?
about three steps
Yep.
ahead, right?
But
So,
what are you worried about? You know what most people are? Well, I've got 18, 19 years. Well, I want a
yeah,
package.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. To get a package, you've got to get to the point where they want to get rid of you.
yeah, yeah,
So, and now if you're comfortable with that,
yeah,
then it's golden. For most people, the way they find out that they're going to get packaged, walked into work thinking they were there for 15 more years, but they walked in package.
Yeah.
Now, so if you know what's coming and you can plan it, sure. I mean, money's important, but I'm not going to sit around and wait a year and a half while someone decides how they're going to, move me out. I mean, I'm not that guy. I don't really care enough. I get frustrated.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can understand that. But to your point, I mean, if look ahead, especially if you're in corporate, and you're between that 52, 53 to 57. Like I'm telling you, man, if you don't know you have a target on your back, we're telling you have a target on your back.
Yeah.
Might not be huge.
You've got to learn new skills. You've got to find things you love. And it's such a great time. I mean, you think of how long people live now. You're at the half-life of your life, right? Like this
of your work life.
It can't be all you do in your life. So you got to figure out what else you love.
You got 30 more years of work. Right? If you're 53, you could work to 80, 85. You could.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably will.
Oh yeah.
I won't be working full time.
Yeah.
But what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I like doing stuff. Like I'm hoping there'd be some young kids in town, maybe got a cool thing and said, hey, listen, there's that old guy up there that, he'll probably do it for cheap
stuff. Yeah.
And he knows some stuff, but he get excited. I mean, I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Right? Why not?
Yeah, no. I think it's important. Like if you're one of our listeners and you are in that age group, like start thinking about it, right? Like think about, not to make you panic, right? Because you should sleep well and all those things, but start thinking about things you love or try new things. Like start thinking about what you could do, right? So that's what I told my friend. Like my friend said, God, what am I going to do? And I said, you know what? All you got to do is figure out, maybe it's a good time to answer what you want to be when you grow up.
Exactly.
And then start building some skills, right? Exactly. And then you know what? Like you already know you're gunned, right? You know that you can't walk away and you won't walk away, right? Like in his case, he doesn't want to walk away. So I was like,
he wants the package.
Like, so you're going to sit around and wait? I just wouldn't sit around. I would do something else. And then when they come, hopefully you're in a spot where you go, not only are you ready, but you're going, it's about damn time. I'm trying to get on with my life so I can do stuff that
wasting my time.
So yeah. Chop. Give me the package. I'm out of here, like. Yeah,
exactly. So if there's any listeners, like if you're in Vancouver, just reach out. I'll meet you at the coffee bar. I'll tell you what I did. I mean, it's not definitively not for everybody because I'm very not a greatly planned person. If you're in Ontario, bug you.
Yeah, for sure.
GTA. But I love going for a coffee. I like shooting the shit. I love hearing what people are going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I met a buddy who hadn't seen, oh my God, probably in 10 years.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that, well, probably 10 years on Friday.
Yeah.
Who knows? Now we're starting to talk about maybe an idea or two.
Yeah.
But so the question was, well, what am I going to do? Before you know, well, I don't know. Maybe we got a cool product on the come now.
Yeah.
That might be, something to do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm. You can definitely hit me up. You don't need to be in the GTA. I'll go anywhere. I'm the same as Kenny, right? Like I love ideation and it doesn't cost you anything. In fact, most of the time I come out of them more energized because I see the energy, I see different thinking.
Yeah. If you want to know,
right? Like I want to learn shit.
For me. Yeah. I'm like you. Okay, forget you, who is ever on the other line.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for me. So if you want to make me happy, phone me.
It's true.
I usually walk away with more ideas than I came in with. So if I help you, trust me, you're helping me too.
Yeah.
Well, I can do Edmonton now because I'm going to be up there probably once a month anyway.
Yeah. All right.
You'll have to come to the hotel though, because I'm not renting a car up there.
Edmonton.
I'm just going to do Ubers and stuff, but
yeah. Edmonton. Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
It's a gig. It's cool. It's back into what I was sort of doing in the old days. I don't know. It's kind of fun, right? You know what it's like. It's I don't know.
Yeah. No, I like it.
Every day is different. It's fun. That's what makes the days fun, right?
That's what makes it the best, right? Exactly. Like you just,
yeah. What are you going to do today? I don't know.
Yeah.
See where the day goes.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great. All right. That's the end of this Commerce Life. We'll be back soon with the next episode. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. Give us feedback. Tell us what you think. Subscribe, like us, join us, share us, tell your friends about us. And we hope to see you next time with more commerce news.